Hey everyone! Excited utterance here. My name's Hella, and I'm sorry I'm a tad late. I've got a really good reason for it today. Been getting all pictures ready and files and stuff, and yeah. So this is a request stream, and I have a feeling there might be more of them coming because finally, we have a lot of photo exhibits released to the public from the courts on those magic USB drives, which we never thought would eventuate. We didn't think that they were real. The USB discs in the mail have come via Jody, the court reporter, and the most recent ones have come via Barbara McDonald through the Court TV website. If anyone manages to download them all and put them in an easier to find spot, please let me know. Or easier to access spot, please let me know. But for now, great. We have a lot of images. I think there's actually some video out there as well, because there was some that I showed you guys yesterday that was streamed on Court TV. A little demonstrative video. But yeah, I didn't know exactly what to attack first. I was going to look at the frames from showing the supposed 2016 Ford Focus. I do want to look at that, but something else has caught my attention, and it's something that I've looked at in the past, and I've already worked on this, so I want to bring it back up again, and I'm so confused. And that is the saga of Libby's phone. So yeah, we'll look at that today in Photoshop. We'll bring that up. So, guys, say hello first to everybody. Lara was here. Yay! Grayspace says, as soon as I saw that the pics of the actual phone case were released, I needed Hella's take. Yeah, well, thanks, Grayspace. I don't know if I can actually solve this one. All I can do is compare them all, bring them all together in one file, and look, I've started. Hopefully today we'll come up with some sort of surprise moment, but I think we're probably going to come out of today just with more questions. We'll see. Lara says also, me too. Did you see how clean that phone was? I'm shocked, and it's also not purple. Yeah, we're going to have a talk about how colors can represent, but I don't think I can really do much just to justify how this can be. Yeah. Okay. Brad's here. Babu Ray KLF. Yeah, I know. Brad says Babu coin miner. Yeah. So thank you for the raid, Dali. Much appreciated. Hey, Tatiana. Thank you for doing this. I done went and got myself all confused, and I need someone to unconfuse me. Yeah, I don't know if I can unconfuse you, but I can confirm that your confusion is warranted. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Spicy Hot Pocket. Good to see you. Andy. Hello, Andy Copser. Stopping by to say thanks, Hella, for letting me use your live from last night. Can't stay around this evening. Look, anyone can use anything within reason. That's not for you, David. David, stop clipping me, making it look like things aren't what they seem. David, that's you, David. Let's get the chats rolling. David has a habit of clipping me and Dali doing nasty things to us. Top chat check, Christine DC. No, Mavka, stream not cancelled. Hey, bye, friends. Sweet Tooth Fairy, how are you? And Chinny, good to see you. Rachel from Idaho, you're lovely. Oh, you were looking for a stream to redirect everyone to, and yours did not come up. Well, I only set it up just before. Like, give me a break. Sean, hello, Sean, my fellow Aussie. Maddie B is here. Who else is here? Alexander, nice to see you. You are a gorgeous, tiny, sexy dancer. If you're a member, you get to see my dancing. Thank you for that. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Patty B. Okay, let's get into it. So, where do we even start? Libby supposedly had an iPhone 6S, and we all thought that she had an iPhone 6S rose gold. I think we can pretty much, well, I think some people still think she had an iPhone 6S rose gold on that day that they went out to the bridge. But I think that's pretty well debunked now, because a few things. Firstly, well, it's been said in court documents, well, let's just say the transcription or the notes from the trial said that it was space gray. There's a white frame around the rose gold ones. I did do a video showing that you can put a black screen protector on the front of rose gold ones to make them look the same as the dark versions. But if we go and have a look, okay, not that. Actually, yes, that. All right, that is not a rose gold that you can see up there, right? So that is space gray. Yeah. So, right. That is a grey phone. That is not a rose gold phone. Hey, Deeb. It sure ain't. Okay. So I think the whole argument over whether or not she had a rose gold phone with her that day is kind of over. So maybe we can move on from that. I don't think anyone, well, there has been some argument over whether or not it was actually even an iPhone 6S. But perhaps we can move on from that one as well. But here's the big problem. Exhibits 9, 10, and 11 were released about 2 months ago, right? Mavka, stop it. Would it be a hella stream if there wasn't me going, Mavka, stop it? Okay, so let me take you to exhibit 9. All right, so here's exhibit 9. This was released a couple of months ago as part of the whole motion to correct error debacle. And this is supposedly Libby's phone in situ, so at the crime scene. And yeah, there was a lot of argument, conjecture at the time as to whether it was even Libby's phone at all. Why doesn't it look like an iPhone 6S rose gold? Why is the cover on it not what people were expecting it to be? People thought that it was going to be a Harry Potter case and that it would be red, right? And it's purple. Well, it's definitely purple. It looks purple to me. Exhibit 10. There it is there. Okay. And the reason people thought that was because not that. Actually, they'd been seen before with a Harry Potter phone case, like this one here, right? I know that's blurry, but But that's a different case, right? So, and someone on Twitter pointed this out earlier. I'll just grab it. That looks like that, right? So that's one Gryffindor. It looks like that, right? So that's a whole different case. So don't think people were expecting to see this turn up today. Especially because of the fact that Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10, etc. looks like this, right? Now, people were already sus on these exhibits that were pulled out a couple months ago, right? But then for it to look so different to not those. I mean, these girls had a couple of phones, and clearly they had some different cases, and they were swapping them between one another, right? There was PS, by the way, that is what an iPhone 6s rose gold looks like. It's got a white frame, top and bottom. And whether or not that's Libby's phone or Kelsey's phone, I don't really know. I think it might be actually Libby's phone, right? But the girls would swap them around, and also the grandma, Becky Patty, would swap phones with them as well, right? So could this be nothing nefarious in that this family would swap phones, and maybe we don't know for sure whose phone they really had, that Libby really had that day? Yeah, I don't know. But what is worrying is the fact that, so yeah, there's another one, right? And that one's clearly space gray, right? But different phone case, right? Okay, so but what is worrying is, why is there these exhibits of the phone in situ, supposedly Libby's phone, and yet we're just seeing now this, right? And let me show you the front of it. This. Now, you can see, if I just show you, hang on, I'll copy and paste this. I'll get this into the same document. Cool. Can you see how the back of this phone, oh, sorry, the side of this phone case, the color ends, right? So the print ends at the edge, right? So it's correct that all these words and things, they actually end right at the edge here. Okay. So when you turn it over, it makes sense that you only see this color, right? So that part of it, I don't have a problem with. Okay. So that is that turned over. Okay. So fine. All right. We're seeing this reddish maroon kind of color around the edge. And it's a thin silicone kind of outer. But yes, purple amaryllis, hello. The one in situ is purple. Same phones because yellow on top. What yellow on top are you talking about? Yellow on top. Please help me with that. Can you give me a little bit more information? Is there a chance the lighting or camera settings on scene made it look that color? I don't know. Just a thought. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Scorpion. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Definitely. Now, if you were watching my previous video about this, I did give a caveat about exhibit 9, 10, 11. And I said that I could give this the benefit of the doubt about this case color, that the color could be representing incorrectly. And I didn't go into much detail about that at the time, because the case wasn't my greatest concern at that point. I was more interested in showing whether or not this was an iPhone 6S rose gold or not. So we were talking a lot about whether or not there was a black screen protector and whether or not that was hiding the rose gold. We did talk a bit about whether the case had been switched out, but yeah, I did provide that caveat, and I said, yeah, look, it's possible that the color could be representing incorrectly. Now, let's talk about the difference between maroon and purple. They're not that different, right? If we were talking about bright red and purple, I would say there's a pretty big difference between bright red and purple, but maroon and purple, not that different. Yeah. Yeah, or lime red. I mean, it looks like eggplant aubergine. Right. So, hey, Ma, how are you? And classic overthinker, how are you, love? It looks like a different phone to you. Okay, so let's just do it. Let's just get the two phones onto the same screen. Let's go. What's a little blue between friends? Yeah. Okay. What is the point of this phone and the color? Well, okay, there are exhibits. You would think that they would try and get them to look somewhat similar, right? Like, I don't expect them to have like a professional photographer, but do some sort of color matching. Why would they not be the same phone, Mavka? Why would anything not be right in this case? Okay, so I have done a little bit of work in advance. That's why you guys were waiting. And I went and grabbed Mr. New Exhibit. There he is there. And he's the wrong way around, right? So if you can recall, this exhibit 9 has the fingerprint up here. So the fingerprint is at the top, whereas this one is the other way around. So the fingerprint's at the bottom. Oh, don't be hating. I need to read this. What I was saying is that the red one in both pictures you showed of her holding looks the same, but that one looks different, especially if it was supposed to be rose gold. Okay. All right, let's do this experiment. Sorry, one more thing before we do the experiment. Some people on Twitter have said that, is this down here? See this little indentation here? Is that broken? Is that a little chip that's taken out of it? I don't know. I don't know, but it would be a great thing to check against Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10, and Exhibit 11, wouldn't it? To check whether or not it's the same case, wouldn't it? You're probably right, Mavka. That's probably where the headphone jack is. You are probably right. But regardless of whether it's broken or not, it would be an excellent thing to align to one of these exhibits. if it were visible on one of these exhibits. But as per just about everything important that we want to see on Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10, and Exhibit 11, it's all covered up by leaves. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah. The iPhone case has an indentation where the side switch is. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, let's do this. So here we have the new exhibit. So I'm just going to zoom out a bit. All right, so he goes this way. And so he would be more like so. He would go like that. Just going to make him a bit transparent so we can put him at the top. Yeah, court of public opinion. I think it's a factory molded indentation too. I think that's pretty close. Cool. Happy people? Okay, so that is a new exhibit where the other one was. I'm going to try some different overlays. Hang on. No, I'll just go with opacity for now. All right. Might just try and get that a little bit closer. Interesting. Well, as I imagined, much of the information that we are looking for is behind leaves. Okay, so that indentation that we wanted, I'm just going to draw over the top of it so we can see exactly where it is. So the indentation we want is, just make my brush a bit smaller. There, actually, I'll make the brush even smaller than that. Okay, so there it is there. Change the color of it. Pink. That's fine. There it is there. Great. It's behind leaves, guys. Fantastic. Fantastic. We can't see it. Excellent. Great. What else could we possibly get from this? Look, I know that that little curve there is not the same, but remember, I am warping this thing to try and fit, so I'm gonna give that the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's take it over to another exhibit. Is there anything else that I could possibly do to disprove that that's it? Guys, help me out. What do you think? There is the new exhibit. There's the old one. You can see the break on the upper left. What's that, Bill? You can see the break on the upper left, same, or it seemed. Break on upper left. Oh, this thing. Oh, yes, you're right. That thing. Yes. Yes. Ha. That aligns. Nice work, Bill. Very good. Hey, that makes me feel a bit better. Ha. Yes. Now, I know you're all like wondering how is it possible that this color could represent so differently. Well, look, I'm not gonna try and convince anybody that it's people are gonna believe what they're gonna believe. All right. I'm gonna tell you that is possible. It's possible, right? The difference between maroon and purple ain't that great. It's just, yeah, it's a little bit of blue. It's a little bit of blue. Image adjustments. Hang on a moment. Just going to duplicate this. Rasterize it. Do, 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 do. Oops. Result. Yeah, it's pretty easy to make it look purple. And there we go. Now, I've done it with image editing software, but have you ever taken a photo in different light and had the colors appear quite different, right? Like, it's the difference between taking a photo on a warm light day or a cool light day, right? So say if you're shooting out on a day where the sunlight is quite warm, right? So remember that this photo that's taken in situ, that's taken out in the ambient light, right? So that's taken outdoors. So that photo has been taken with just the sunlight, and I think maybe there might have been a flash as well, right? So you're taking a more uncontrolled lighting situation, and then you go into a very controlled lighting situation like the one here, right? So I'm just going to go okay on this one. We'll keep it for now. All right, so you've got a very controlled lighting situation, and you're just putting objects down on a piece of paper, and it looks to me like they've just been shot with a phone. Like, it doesn't look like it's been shot with an SLR or anything like that. Right, so you have two very, very different lighting situations going on. Now, light isn't just white. Light has color, right? And light also reflects the color of things that are around, right? So what I'm just going to say to everybody who is like, well, no, they're just different colors, is that unfortunately, that's just not the way that photography works, right? Photography requires light to create the image that you're seeing, and light isn't just white. It isn't. So, yeah. But I know there's going to be people in my comments, and there's going to be people later who are like, Hell is just explaining why the state's right, right? And that's two different phone cases, and they're different colors. And she just photoshopped it to make it look purple to show you that they photoshopped it, right? So I'm not explaining the state's right about anything. I'm just trying to show that light changes the way things are represented in front of your eyes in photographs. Really simple. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take that color change away. It was just there as an example. Gray space. You're absolutely right. So the state can suck and also not have light in this instance. Yeah. Right. And I wasn't expecting to see this phone case either at all. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that. But people, and this has been throughout my whole career, right? I notice this a lot. People put too much emphasis on the colors that they see on their phone screens, not phone screens, just screens in general, right? Screens are really bad at representing color. Really bad. If I make something a color on my screen, that does not mean it's going to be the same color on someone else's screen, and then it's not going to be the same on someone else's phone, and it's not going to be the same on a TV. It's just not. And then it's the same in print. If someone prints something out, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same color as someone else printing it out. It's not going to be the same in a brochure. Color just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Yeah. And then there's people's eyes as well. They perceive color differently too. Yeah, it's a blue dress, not gold. Yeah. The states theory blows, but I can agree that's the same phone. I think it is. I tend to think it is. Right. Let's just go to a different exhibit for now. So I'll take this with me. So this image with me, and be sure that I've got it. Exhibit 10. All right. Can we get more out of this one? There's the buttons down there on the bottom left. So it looks like I need to rotate this one that way. Hang on. Are they the volume buttons? Yeah. So therefore, I need to rotate this like that. Is that right? Yeah. I think so. Hang on. No. Let's check this. No, it's the same way it was before. It's like that. I think. Let's go back to exhibit 9. That little shadow there? See this one? Let's just make sure. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, yes. Because that aligns there. Cool. Okay, let's do it again. Oh, this one's a bit trickier. Now, whilst I'm doing this, guys, I am planning to do probably not a stream, but a video on looking into the 2016 Ford Focus, or whether it is actually that, in the next 24 hours or so. So anyone who wants to send me any resources on that, please do. I'm looking for examples of Rick's actual car, and also good photos of a black 2016 Ford Focus to compare to those frames that the state put in front of the jury. So we're doing something on that. And if you have any other, if you're looking through the state's exhibits and you see anything that you would like me to explore, please let me know. You can pop it into the comments. Yeah, you can pop it into the comments. That's fine. And I will address it as soon as I can. If you can, if possible, download the exhibits and send them to me, that would be great. But even if you just want to comment first and tell me what it's all about that you want me to bring up, then that would be awesome. All right. I built classic overthinker. I think it was the sports model, sports pack, Ford Focus. Indy Cindy said, did you see my video of the Ford Focus and the Subaru? I did almost exact, except the Subaru sits up high. No, I'll have to look at that, Indy Cindy. Thank you for that. Mapka, it is a 2016. Yeah, 2016. Okay, so in this one, I can't get it quite the same because it seems to bulge out there, which doesn't really mean anything. It's also kind of I'm going to get rid of this mask. Delete layer mask and just a minute. It's a little bit easier to fix. Yeah, now I can warp the hell out of it. Cool. All right. Yeah, so let's just see if we can find anything else to match it up to. Yeah, so the original phone case, it's a bit bulged there, but I don't think that's anything to really judge. Again, we still can't see that indentation. It's covered in leaves. We can't really see that other indentation that we were looking at earlier. But it was definitely there prior. You saw it. Stupid leaves. So, I mean, I find it interesting that they cleaned it up. Don't you? Should they be cleaning it up? Jamie, the Who's Your Harvester video has it supposedly looking black, but in some of the photos of stills of Bridge Guy, the jacket looks black. So, goodness knows. Yes, white balance and color temperature can affect the colors. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like if you've ever even done, if you've ever like on an iPhone, you know how you can just put those basic filters on there, warm, vivid, cool, vivid, etc. That changes the colors significantly, and all that's doing is emulating different natural light spaces, right? So I know that like that is tampering with the image, but it's just emulating what's happening out in daylight, right? So like a warm sunset or a cool dawn or something like that. These filters aren't made, well, a lot of the ones that are in like Snapchat and things like that are made to look false, but most of them are based on the things that you see out in ambient light, or to correct the kind of anomalies that you get when you shoot in a studio, to try and make them more like they're shot in ambient light. What's J-Rock doing? Okay, so yeah, I do have a bit of an issue with the way they've clearly, really clearly gone and cleaned up the phone and the phone case to shoot it here, right? Assuming it's the same phone and phone case, they've gone and cleaned it. Why would they do that? Hey, Color, and why would you clean it? Did they test DNA? The photos they take should be taken right away to see condition and definitely shouldn't clean. Yeah, I find it weird. Okay, so Court of Public Opinion says they had to clean the phone to make sure there was no DNA from the real killers. Well, there is that. It doesn't look nearly as shiny. It almost looks like a different material. Look, that would be because it's been shot with a garbage phone of some sort. Look at also, and I was going to bring this up earlier, look at also the way the background is blown out. So you see this like napkin or whatever it is it's been shot on. There's all this like extremely white overexposed area out here, right? So they've used like a garbage flash to shoot with. And you can also see through here, in fact, I'll show you a bit more detail. It's not a great photo. None of these are great photos. They've not been shot with like an SLR or anything. They've been shot just with a phone or something. Look at that. They're very poor images. They've had really no attention paid to their levels. So what a professional photographer would do is they'd go and put they usually get like a gray square and put it up and make sure that all of the images follow the same midpoint, like gray midpoint. That way there's none of this white blowing out. So the white areas are not overexposed and the dark areas are therefore not filling in. And you get the right amount of details in the shadows and you don't get the highlights completely losing their detail too, right? And a good example of the light areas blowing out would be, if we were to go back to Exhibit 9, you can see through here, there's an example of the light areas blowing out, right? So fortunately, it doesn't really matter with that leaf because there's nothing really on the leaf. But if there was something important on the leaf, then that would be a problem, right? So the photo's poorly shot. Oops. Poorly shot in that no detail is being retained in the very light areas, and also very little detail is being held in the dark areas, right? So a professional photographer will try and retain detail in both of the two extremes. And that's why last time we were here, I did this thing where I showed you, let's bring this back. I showed you this. So I actually brought out more detail in the shadows. There's only so much I can do when, see that? Yeah, last time I brought out more detail for you in the shadows so that you can see some of the stuff that is sort of hiding back there. But you can still see over here, right? A lot of it's been lost. Like a lot has been lost. Sorry, guys. I'm having trouble not bringing my browser to the foreground. Just a minute. Because you can see my entire screen. All right, there we go. That's better. Okay. So basically what I'm saying is that it's not great photography either in situ or here in whatever you kind of studio situation you want to call this. Yeah. So you really can't judge whether or not like the reflections look the same or anything like that, because there's absolutely no kind of parity between the two. Yeah. Can you line up the speaker circles at the top of the screen? Try. Not that. Speaker circles. Is this the best one to do it on, Classic Overthinker, or do you think I should do it on Exhibit 9? Speaker circles. Oh, do you mean here? Oh, the other pic? Okay. Sorry, I don't really know where speaker circles are. Let me see. I do have a diagram which shows where everything is. Exploded view. Speaker circles, where are they? Loudspeaker receiver. There? Is that what you mean? Close to volume buttons, top of phone, not top of pic. Oh, do you mean this thing? The speaker oval is at the top, the phone on the ground is upside down. Yeah. So therefore it's more to the bottom of the photo. So it's down here. You mean down there? Yeah, great space. I can line up to the volume buttons, but you can't see them on the new exhibits. Yes. Okay. Right. Well, I mean, I am lined up to it, but you can't see it. Hang on, let me see if I can use. I'll just tell you what I'll do. I will. So you mean this part, right? So first, what I'll do is I will draw over it. I'll get a pen and I'll draw over it. Okay, so that bit, right? Is there more to it? Something like that, plus a little circle next to it. Is it to the right? How about I just... Can I see it better? Oh, is that it? Is that part of it there? Yes. Okay. What's there? Maybe that's a little bit longer. All right, cool. I drew on the wrong layer. Idiot. Okay. Done. Sorry. Sorry. It's almost like Nick McClellan went and put the leaves flat over every little bit of identifying piece. Like, let me grab a leaf and put it there, and put it there, put it there. All right. So yeah, and guys, you can't see the can you see them? No. Oh, can you? Hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Is that them? Is that the hang on. No, that's not it. Hang on. That's the power button. So the volume buttons are on the other side. Yeah, the volume buttons are on the other side. So no, we don't get any, like, because of the way they've shot it, we don't get to see even indentations of the on-off buttons at all. So we can't line them up. Phone upside down, other side, hello. Yeah. Hang on. Oops. Hey, woman. Oh, you want me to get that one? Oh, good idea. Sweet. Thank you, guys. Smart. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So let's try this then. So, all right. So let me think this through. So if I wanted to try and align those buttons to there, I need to, oh God, I need to flip it. Yes. I need to flip it horizontally and rotate it. Make sense? because I can't just rotate it because it's the wrong way around, right? So if I flip it horizontally and then rotate it, you have to snack it up, flip it, and rub it, stuff it in, Cindy. All right, let me just consider this, right? So if I went like this, if I went image, adjustment, and I went, sorry, flip. Flipped it horizontally, right? And then grab it and I go like that because that's where the bottom is, right? Okay, hang on. Oh, no, I can do this. It's all right. I was thinking I'm going to warp a long way. Oh, this is difficult. I can't see the other side of it. I can't see this edge to line it up to. But, okay, let's assume that that's where the buttons are. Okay, that makes more sense. So that is where the buttons are. That's where the bottom of it is. There. There we go. It's pretty close. Okay. Huh. Well, I can't say I got it perfect. Close. But you got to remember that that's from the back side of it. So it's not the exact same profile, right? So we're seeing, so here on the exhibit that's showing the front side, we're seeing the curve, so a different part of the curve, so a different part of the profile of the buttons, right? And this part here, which is the back side of it, the printed side of it, we're seeing like the outer bit of the button. So it's, I wouldn't necessarily expect them to look exactly the same. But Is there also that little indentation there? Looks like it. I don't know if I've got it quite lined up though. Because I can't see the... Oh no, I haven't got it lined up. Whoops. Hang on, I need to make it a little bit longer. Apologies. Because see, there's still some screen there. Where is the bottom of it? Okay, so let's assume, okay, that curve. See that curve there? I am going to say that this curve here is where the bottom of it is. That makes more sense. So here. Okay, so if that's the case, that means I need to make this longer, right? Now it's getting further away. Oh, hang on. So hard to tell with those leaves in the way. Oh, thank you, Darlie. It is expensive. All right. Okay. That's about as close as I can get. Or is it? No, it's not. I'm so not happy with that. The maroon just passed the leaf. Because the thing is, every time I pull it this way, it's also pulling it that way as well. what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I did to the other one. And I'm going to layer, duplicate it, and no, it's not a smart object anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll get rid of this layer mask. Cool. And now I can just, oops. Yeah. Get it a bit closer. Yeah. So now that's like it should sit there. Those indentations should sit there, but now it's moved to there. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just sort of something. What if they were trying to remove the SIM card from the phone and accidentally poke the phone jack hole inside the SIM card hole? What? Why? Yeah. The orientation is, and I feel like that's throwing everything off. Hey, Keith. It just looks so weathered in the leaf pic. I know they cleaned it up, but what is the white substance around the phone when it's at the crime scene? That can't be a reflection. It's material. We talked about that back when that came out. You mean this stuff, Keith? Well, I personally think it's condensation or dew or something like that, and I think the reason it looks so weird is because it's been shot really badly. It's been shot with some sort of crappy phone, and there's some sort of flash going on, but there's also ambient light, and you can tell that because, like I was saying earlier, there is this awful blowout going on in the highlights, and then there is this fill-in going on in the dark areas, right? So what you end up with is this sort of very bright effect going on in this speckle on the phone screen. So it comes out looking like some sort of sand or crystal or some kind of thing. But I do believe that it is actually like water or dew or something. I just don't think it's been photographed very well at all. And yeah, when you see, that's what I did when I brought out the shadows in it. You can see there's far more of it there than you can see with the naked eye. So it goes down a lot further. See? It's just really poorly shot. We don't know, Lindsay. We don't know anything. None on the case of the phone, the ridge around the screen. Don't know if you can say that or not, Keith. There's mess on the case of the phone. I don't know if you can say that that's not water or dew on there. You got to remember it's a different material, Keith, right? Like you got the silicon material, and then you've got what's essentially glass. So I don't know. I mean, there's lots of really weird things about this case, but when I say case entirely, but I don't know if this is one of them so much. Oops. I hate sharing my entire screen. I find it really difficult to get back to StreamYard if I lose it. Oops. Okay. There we go. Did they spray a substance when trying to discover blood present? Yeah, people have said that too. People have said that too. Oh, look, I don't trust anything that they say. I don't trust it just because they said it. No. That's why it's worth looking into it. Like, I wouldn't even be bothered looking into it if I trusted what they said. No way. Is this the pic released by MC after he requested them be sealed? Who's MC? Oh, McClelland. Yeah, he released these pics. There was 3 of them. He released these pics as part of his response to the motion to correct error. Yeah. And look, there may be 3 different Libby phones. There may be 1 Libby phone. There may be 1 Libby phone with 3 different covers on it. I don't know, Rachel. I don't know. I am just saying that, A, it's possible that the color is representing differently here than what it did in the controlled lighting environment of the office that it was shot in. Here, because the difference between maroon and purple is not very much. Not very much at all. I was not expecting to see oops, this today. This was the last thing I was expecting to see. I did not think that this was the case that was on this phone at all. But I guess it's possible. It's not impossible. But as everyone has said, you don't just trust what they say. You got to check it out. It's worth checking everything out. From what I've looked at today, I can explain most things about it with like a pinch of salt, right? I don't think any of these things are like appellate issues. I think the next thing to really look at is the photos of supposedly his car. I think the photos of his car, supposedly his car, that could be a real avenue for doubt. Because I really don't think that the whole idea of being able to see light through those hubcaps or mags or whatever they are is plausible. That from those couple of frames that they provided, being able to identify the car based on seeing light through those spokes what? That makes no sense to me. So that's my next project, right? I'm very interested in that. So yeah, today I was surprised to see these phone cases. However, I think that might be a bit of a dead end. Unless someone can show me something else to do with the phones. Yeah, I don't know. And I know people are going to get in my comments and they're going to be, oh, Hella just thinks everything about the phones is fine. And I don't necessarily think that's the case. If that were true, I wouldn't even bother bringing this stuff back up again. I'm willing to search every avenue, and I'm always willing to look at anything new. When I first saw this today, I was like, shit. But then when I looked at it a bit further, yeah, maybe it is the one that was sitting in the leaves. Maybe they planted it. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, hey, is Michael here? Hey, Michael, how are you? What do you think, Michael? Do you have anything to say about these? I go back. Working on what? Not that it was clean, but it was placed there later with or without the bodies. Yeah. See, I don't know about that, right? And I can't tell that based on looking at the images and searching through the shadows and things. So yeah, that's something else. So and of course they cleaned it afterwards. It's very obvious that they've cleaned it afterwards. Yeah. And remember, it was supposed to be underneath was it Abby's foot or Libby's foot? Abby's foot, I thought. So, I mean, yeah, that condensation that's there, that dew that's there, was very cleanly placed. No sort of marks from where her clothes or body were. Abby, yeah. So yes, she had clothes on. So you would think there would be some mark left, but no. I mean, those spots of water condensation very cleanly placed there. Yeah. I think the phone arrived later. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that would make sense based on what we were just looking at. I can't tell from the photo, but it would make sense. Yeah. Yeah. What carnation head? Yeah. So there's definitely going to be a lot of images I have obviously not seen, and there's going to be theories or questions come out, and I'm here obviously to help if there's any way I can help. So please, yeah, pop things into the comments, send me tweets. My information is all in my about section, so there's a link tree there. Or is there? Do I have a mod here who can pop my link tree up? That would be great. Yeah, happy to help if I can. Right, and I'll be as I said, the next thing I'll be looking at, unless something more urgent comes up, the next thing I'll be looking at is those frames from the video of the supposed 2016 Ford Focus. So I'm sus on those. Yeah. I feel like there's something in there I could probably help with. So Cool. All right. Thank you guys, everybody. Unless you've got any other questions, I'll probably leave it at that. And just want to make sure that. Oh, yeah, one more thing. If you guys know of anywhere that has anyone who has downloaded everything and put them into a nice central spot, please let me know, because it's not that easy to get them all down off that Court TV website. Yeah, kind of annoying, but yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. I think we might go over to Truth and Transparency. Why not? How about we do that? She's doing more recaps of the Motions in Limine. Motions in Lemonade. Yes, she is. Love Lana. Love Lana. Oh, and look, the ice cream man's here just in time. I love it when the ice cream man turns up. Okay, that means I need to end the stream. Okay. Time for the song, everybody. Thank you.
And she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud, and because she's an 803 to be excited ignorance. Her cat is